Someone reached out to me on Reddit. User RN Retailer said, "Hey, I listed my house on April 1st and I've only received one offer so far. Can you help me market it? I live in New York. I already have a flat rate realtor. I'm just looking for someone to run the online ads. I sent out 2,000 postcards to litter the area, but I didn't pay anyone for online ads. I've had a few walkthroughs the past few weeks. I received one offer that was all cash, but it was really low. Can you help me?" To which I say, absolutely. So let's take a look at this listing and just break down what the heck is going on. Now, before we look at any listings, doesn't matter what it is, we need to know stuff that your realtor should know, right? So we have to reverse engineer things that if someone were reaching out to me in my normal farming area that I would already know. So what is the demographic of people that are in this area? What's really going on? What's the ideal buyer like? What's the community like? What are the jobs like, right? So while I don't know that for sure, we can hop onto our favorite little toy, ChatGPT, and take a look at what's going on. So we put this in the ChatGPT, and let's just take a look here. Boom, 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 boom. And I gave it a prompt here. I said, I have a client selling a home in Port Washington, New York. What can you tell me about the area? Where are the likely buyers like? Why do people move there? Give me as much info as you can. And long story short, it's a suburban feel to New York. When we look at this home on the map, it's outside the city, and it's got a lot of other stuff going on that's not just city life. So, long story short here, what it really says is that the ideal buyers are probably young families that want good schools, safe neighborhoods, and a lifestyle outside the city while still being able to access the city. Professionals who are commuting. There are some retirees and empty nesters, but less, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then, of course, boating and water enthusiasts. And these are all going to be high net worth individuals because this property is a reasonably high price. So now that we kind of know what we're looking for, okay, let's take a look at this listing and see if we're marketing it in the right way. So we're going to hop on over here to 37 Beacon Drive. So welcome to 37 Beacon Drive. Now again, knowing what we're marketing towards is one of the most important parts, because if we know who we're trying to appeal to, we can then reverse engineer everything to make sense. Now, as we look at listings, we're just going to break down this whole thing. And I know that in her message, she was asking for help specifically with running an online ad, okay? But if your listing isn't good, then there's no point to running an ad. Okay, if you just improve your listing, then that might do more work than paying for an ad. You've got to have a good foundation, a good thing that people are looking at first. Okay, so let's fix the listing first and then possibly work on an ad, but let's focus on really just fixing the listing. Okay, so why the heck are we getting low offers and not enough offers? So first of all, let's take a look at these pictures. This is our first main picture. How big can I make? Can I make it full screen? Doesn't make it full screen. So, we've got this listing first. Now, with listings, all listings, we're chasing what we call the 80-20 rule, okay? 80% of your house, no one cares about. No one cares about the bedroom. It's got 4 walls and carpet. Cool, right? Or hard floors, whatever you got, right? No one really cares necessarily about a majority of the features in your house. When we're looking at multiple 3-bedroom, 2 baths, this is a 3-bed, 2-bath, we're looking for the features that set them apart. It could be the view. It could be specific awesome aspects of the home. Now, we know that people moving to this part of New York are getting out of the city, and they're getting into an area that has ocean views and that has a lot of nature. And they want space. They want to get out of the cluster of New York City, right? So looking at this, we need our first picture to really personify what we're trying to get. Because if we don't, then they won't look at the second picture. If they don't look at the second picture, they won't look at the third picture. If they get through the first 3 pictures, they'll look at all the rest, okay? So this first picture, it feels cramped. And this lighting is kind of a mess. Okay, I know we've had all these trees around the home, but we should probably do is use an aerial drone to get the front, because again, our goal here is to get a picture of probably the ocean behind, or maybe it's behind me, I'm not sure. But we want to get an ocean view of this property, and we want to get rid of all these lines. So probably want to get that picture around sundown or sunrise, or on a really cloudy day when all these shadows will really ease off. It'll really make this first picture pop, and maybe even bring that camera off to the right or to the left slightly so that we can get more sides of the home. Because again, we're trying to convince people to not move into the city, right? They want to get away from the city. We want to give them space. We want to make it feel nice. And this just doesn't quite give that really good vibe that we probably need. So if the first picture is good, they'll look at the second picture, right? This doesn't sell you on the house. This isn't a good second picture. If they like the second picture, they'll look at the third picture. This is better. Now, if we were to go through this listing and take a look at what the top 3 pictures are, okay? I've already kind of sorted through these. So if it were me, I may possibly go with like this picture for the first picture, or where'd we go? I think it's way down at the bottom. We have, or one of these pictures for the first or second picture, okay? I think this is the home right here. So again, you're not selling a structure, you're selling a lifestyle. That's important for this community. You're selling this rural lifestyle nestled in the trees, away from all the hustle and bustle, right on the water. So this should be one of your top pictures, okay? Maybe number 2. Past that, you're selling luxury. This is an expensive home. Don't do that. You're better off not including a garage picture, okay? Don't do that. But you're selling luxury, right? So your next couple pictures should be something like this kitchen. I'd probably say this is the best picture of the kitchen, right? We should probably use this for picture number 2. And then after that, we can put in all the rest of the pictures. That being said, we do need to make sure we're getting the proper lenses. We see this a lot in real estate. A good wide angle lens can capture the whole room and really make it a good picture, okay? This makes it feel super cramped, which is the exact opposite of what we want our buyers getting out of the city to feel like, right? The home office is fine. Maybe if we're doing pictures, maybe we get rid of some of the junkier looking stuff, because this is luxury. This is a $1.3 million listing. We'll talk about the price in a little bit, because that's not the highlight of this part. But all these pictures could use a little bit of an upgrade. Like, okay, that angle's actually pretty good on that one. I'll give them that one. Am I just making fun of these pictures because they're not opening fully? No, yeah. Some of the pictures, they got everything. Some of the pictures, they didn't. Okay, so you got to make sure you're using the right lens. Don't include pictures like this. This is, again, you're buying luxury. That doesn't look like luxury, right? It doesn't look like space. It looks like clutter. It looks like the opposite of the vibe you're trying to do to invite people into the property. And if you are going to get out and take pictures, for goodness sake, sweep, clean, right? Like if you're going to get this back area, take a couple minutes, do something about these chairs, do something about these leaves. We're talking $1.3 million here, right? Take a couple minutes for it. So once we get the pictures cleaned up, we can hop back over to this listing. For the price, 1.3. Is the price wrong? Well, let's take a look at what the neighbors have going on, okay? So if we replace our screen sharing, can we share a window? We'll just share a window. This one. Share. Awesome. So when we look at this listing, we're at 1.3. This is us right here. Again, right by the water with all these nice trees and parks nearby. Nearby, we have a couple other listings at 1.3, okay? So I don't think the price is high. The problem with both of these other listings, they don't have the square footage on them. So I can't compare how big these homes are compared to our listing we're looking at. But we know there's other homes nearby around the same price. So we know we're probably in the right ballpark. And I would argue that this one, being so close to the water, it's probably worth more just for that, right? So I think in terms of price, we're on the right track. Now, where we start kind of having issues, compared to the neighbors at least, is, again, let's see this picture. Like, we've got the angle, it feels spacious. That's what I'm talking about for your first picture. Again, they kind of do the cardinal sins with the picture order. But, in terms of the first picture, this is what we should really be looking for. Something a little off center that really makes the place look big and spacious and luxurious. Now, comparing, there's other things we're going to look at. But when comparing listings, one of the really big things we want to compare is price. And part of price is all of the fees and all the stuff you have to pay for on your listing, right? So, like, you're not just going to pay the price. You're going to pay realtor fees, closing costs, all that kind of stuff. So as we look at these listings, I'm not seeing it right here abundantly in front of me, but I have it over here on this one on Beverly. They're offering a 2% buyer agency fee, okay? Now, for your home, we are offering where'd it go? I just had it. They're offering 1%, wherever it went, a 1% buyer agency fee. And when I asked them about this, they said, hey, well, there's that big lawsuit. We don't have to pay commissions anymore. And you're right. You don't have to pay commissions anymore. Here it is. You don't have to pay commissions anymore. But what does that mean? Does that mean that the buyer's agents work for free now? No. So on the contracts that buyers now have to sign, they're going to say, hey, I'm going to spend 2% on my buyer's agent. I think most people are doing 2%. It's not fixed, but that's kind of the lower end of what most people will do. It's all negotiable, but let's pretend everyone's doing 2%. So on this listing over here, the buyer has to pay $0 out of pocket. On your listing, they have to spend $13,000 more, which might not sound like a big deal on a $1.3 million transaction, but this is going to be money they have to pay on top, right? So if we're comparing this home that you have listed right here to, this home right here, this one costs $13,000 more on top of the $50,000 more on the price, right? And this is a 4-bed, 2-bath. So, making sure you're offering a competitive buyer's agency commission can be a deal breaker. So you want to, if you're having a hard time, compare to what everyone else is doing and see how your listing competes. Because, this is on Zillow. You push this button right here, request a tour, they're going to connect you with an agent. And that agent paid money to have that connection, right? When that agent gets paid money, he's going to look at all these deals, all this stuff going on, and not really want to show your house. And some people will hate me for that. But, first of all, it's the truth. But second of all, as a buyer who's then looking at these houses and goes, hey, you can absolutely buy this one, but just so you know, you've got to spend $50,000 more on the price plus $13,000 extra in the buyer agency fee. It's not all the agents. It's going to start being buyers that don't want to buy the home. Okay, so let's raise up that buyer agency fee to an amount that will get the buyer's agents excited and will get buyers excited to do the deal as well. Okay, so that aside, the price seems okay. But let's talk for a second about property descriptions. Okay, that's gonna be the next part of this listing. Now, like we said earlier, we're targeting a certain demographic of people if we can help it. And that doesn't mean that we're steering and only targeting those people, right? Anyone can buy the home. But we want to try to paint a picture that the ideal buyer would like. If you're in the city and you're like, spacious trees, that's not really what people want, right? People moving out here want nature, they want sea, they want space, they want all types of other things and those types of words. They don't want to be thinking about marketing that doesn't apply to them. So we want to try to create this property description in a way that will appeal to buyers. And we'll also use words that will help them pop up on searches, okay? Because maybe someone's looking for a split set, right? I don't know what a 2-bath split set is, but maybe someone's looking for a 2-bath split set. Well, you have it in there now, so people can find it. But when we look over at what a good property description is, use ChatGPT, super easy. I asked it, can you create a property description for 37 Beacon Drive with our target demographic in mind that would work on Zillow and not have a bullet point, basically text font on it, right? So it's, hey, welcome to 37 Beacon Drive. Well, you know what? Sorry. Let's take a look at what they have first. Wonderfully private 3-bedroom, 2-bath split set on 0.4 acres of property on a pristine cul-de-sac backing into the Harbor Acres Sands Point. Recently renovated with updated kitchen, living area, dining area, bathrooms, den, exterior, roof lights, skylights, vaulted ceiling, new hot water heater, new sewer line, large new driveway, new fence, expert landscaping, green giants. I'm falling asleep, but I'm a real estate agent. I read these all day, right? Spacious 2-car garage. So these are like just material facts. We can pull that from the facts above. We don't need a property description for that. So again, without putting too much work into this, compare that to this. Welcome to 37 Beacon Drive, an exquisite home located in the heart of Port Washington, New York. This stunning residence offers a perfect blend of luxury and comfort, featuring breathtaking water views and spacious, meticulously landscaped yard. The property boasts 4 generously sized bedrooms. 4? ChatGPT, it's wrong. Should be 3. You got to always check your ChatGPT, right? It's more about the feeling. An open concept living space designed for modern living. The gourmet kitchen is a chef's dream, complete with high-end appliances, granite countertops, and a large island for perfect entertaining. The sun-drenched living room features large windows that offer stunning views of the Long Island Sound, while the cozy fireplace adds warmth and charm. Okay, I mean, it goes on, but that's the point here. The property description isn't there to list off all the material facts from earlier. It's to paint a picture of what living there might be like for your 20%, to appeal to them, to make them go, oh, it's cozy. Oh, it's luxury. Oh, it's beautiful. It's spacious, right? That's what we're trying to do. So we want to get that fixed. 81 days on market. I was told the average is 10. I wonder if that's true. How are these guys doing? 9 days on market. How's this one doing? 101 days on market. So I heard 10's average, but it seems like some homes are sitting. So you might not be in too bad a shape because other homes are sitting longer than yours. But you do want to be mindful of this, because if it does sit for too long, people start asking what's wrong with it. So, we want to get something moving, right? We want to get something happening. So, overall, those are going to be the biggest things that we can do to make a big difference right away. Now, of course, we can run ads. Okay, of course, we can run ads. But first, we need to fix the listing. We want to make it competitive. We want to make it appealing. We want to make people excited. Okay, so once you get all of those things done, then you can create an ad. Now, for the ads, they're not too hard, and we can do that in a different video. But this, if I had to look at it and, give it a grade, I'd probably give it a solid C. I would say that this was done about as well as a brand new agent or a really old agent that isn't trying. But I think there's a ton of room for improvement. And I think that making these changes we talked about in this video will bring a lot more money for the listing. So right now, the highest offer that's come in was at 1.1.5. I think with this marketing, you might actually make an extra $150,000 or more on your listing. That aside, I would be very curious to hear what the policies have been for open houses, what the showing procedure is like, and a bunch of other factors like that, which I don't have. But I would start with this. And once we get these upgrades done, then if you want to circle back, we can absolutely talk about getting this puppy run as some ads. So if you know someone that has a listing that could use some help, you know what to do. Call Castro, put in the comments down below what you thought about this listing, if you think I'm being too hard or too easy on it, and I'll catch you guys next time.